of a thing. A hell of a thing. Really. I mean, just a hell of a thing.
Have you counted it? It's the same. We're all 4 days short.
You're alive, aren't you?
Listen, pal. I know a guy who'll part with $40 for anything you got. What do you say? Hell of a thing.
Ah, and you must be leading fireman Frederick Barrett, am I right? Oh, please. Would you care for tea or perhaps a glass of beer? I'm sure we can...
No, thanks, sir.
Very good. Straight to business, then. You have been singled out, Barrett, as a potential source of valuable testimony in this case. Now, do you know what that means? You will be subpoenaed to give evidence at the inquiry, and if you decide...
You a lawyer, sir?
We're trying to piece together a picture of what happened. A picture we can all take pride in.
You see, it's important that the public continue to feel secure traveling with White Star. Now, how do we help them to feel that? By reassuring them that the crew, people like you, did their duty that night, stayed at their posts, followed orders.
Yes, at times like these, grievous times, times of anxiety, people need... well, what do they need?
They need heroes, Barrett. We need to present the Board of Inquiry and the public with heroes.
Chief Engineer Bell, did you see him at all that night?
I did.
Did you see him? Did you see any engineers on deck?
I couldn't say. I couldn't say more than I've already said.
Well, think, Barrett. It's important.
Stop! All engines, stop!
$2:30. All hands to lifeboats!
Yes, sir. All hands to the lifeboats! Very good, men. Stand down. Drill over. Get back to your posts and stand by. Dead slow, ahead.
Dead slow ahead. Ease her up gently. When she's under full away, shut down the cylinder drain valves. Right? Let's have a poke about, shall we? So these are reciprocating four-cylinder triple expansion engines. We're still manoeuvring at slow ahead, so we're only using the outer screws. The We've not yet engaged the...
Low pressure turbine.
Go on.
Well, what do you want to know?
Want to know what you know?
It's a Parsons direct coupled low pressure reaction turbine. The Swiss sluice valves are closed, sealing the turbine off while it's not needed. If you want to bring in the centre screw, you'll activate the changeover valves using a Brown's hydraulic engine.
So they are teaching you something. Double-ended Scotch boilers. 24 of them with 6 furnaces each. 5 single-ended boilers back there. Hey, you can take your coat off.
What about you, Father?
All this. You need to go over that fire tray. You're not getting the air through.
Very good, sir.
Coal fed every working part of Titanic. Her 29 boilers were the lungs of the ship, consuming over 800 tons of coal a day. They generated the vast amounts of steam needed to power the largest ship yet built. For every 5 crew members that worked aboard Titanic, almost 4 of them hailed from Southampton. With a national coal strike underway in Britain, there were up to 17,000 unemployed men in the town, eager to take up work. Nowhere would Titanic's loss be felt more than in Southampton's working-class community.
They're the pick of Southampton, sir. The very best. All right, men. Come on through.
Shepherd. Welcome to the Titanic, Shep. Well, what do you think of her?
Can't tell yet, sir. She's not the Olympic. Not what I'm used to, that's all. I feel unfaithful.
Wife and mistress. I tell you, she's perfect.
Yes, I can see that. Perfect.
She's all yours, Shep.
Once you're signed in, lads, up to your quarters. D through G deck, names and the doors.
Welcome to the Titanic, gentlemen. Grab a bunker as you can. First shift is in 1 hour. 1 hour till first shift.
Titanic's layout between decks was emphatic in its class structure, and this was none more so evident than in the engineering quarters. Firemen, greasers, trimmers, known as the Black Gang, were given berths at the front of the ship, so as not to come into contact with Titanic's passengers.
Thomas Dillon, but everybody calls me Paddy.
Do they now?
And you are?
Barrett. Barrett.
Hey. Sharp.
Barrett.
Over here.
These quarters are for trimmers and stokers only. According to this, you're a leading fireman. I'll get you a better billet if you want.
Happy here.
Suit yourself.
You don't have to take your hat off in here, son. You're not in church, you know.
all right if I park myself here?
Who plays dominoes? I play dominoes.
Kelly. William Kelly.
Albert Irvine.
Kelly, you say?
Has anybody here seen Kelly? Kelly. Has anybody here seen Kelly? Find him if you can.
Heroes, Mr. Baron. Men who died fighting to the last so that others might have a chance of life. Now, can you give us the heroes we need? Now, I can't tell if this is false modesty or pig-headedness. You're a hero, aren't you, Baron?
Why?
For standing by your post and following orders?
That makes me a hero.
Doesn't it?
You're a hero in my book, Barrett.
Because it suits you. Because it suits White Star.
You're a hero for what you did, Mr. Barrett.
What did I do? I survived. And then you cut my pay the moment she goes down. Your dead heroes come cheap. I'm alive.
Thomas Dillon, sir, but everybody calls me Paddy.
It will never be clear if engineers managed to make it above decks as Titanic sank. For many, it would have been impossible, as they were isolated deep in the hull of a dying ship. Without doubt, the men of the engineering section had worked to keep Titanic from sinking for up to an hour and a half longer than was expected, saving hundreds of lives.
You Frank Bale?
Yes, I'm Bill.
I made a promise to your father. He wanted you to have this.
My dear Frank, I feel sure by the time you read this, they'll be saying all sorts of things about what has happened here. They'll find their villains and their heroes, tell their stories to make sense of the senseless. They'll tell you, I hope, that you can be proud of your father. But all I can think of now is how proud I am of you. Remembering you, knowing for certain what you will become. I have the strength to do what I have to do. Look after your mother for me. Keep well and be a good lad. Your loving father, J. Bell.